Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy OG Big Sam, aka Mr. White. Mad Monday with the OG. You know what it is. It's a good Monday though. It's a very good Monday. It's a very good Monday. You know what I'm saying? It's always a good Monday after a win. But then there's still some things to be, touched up on, talked about. We're gonna gather in a few things, talk about a couple of things. But for the most part, we just gonna jump right on in. Defense is growing up. Just one of the very many things we want to get into this morning, this afternoon rather. Um, but for the most part, off top, real talk, team game, team win, man. You know what I'm saying? Special teams put in work, defense put in work. You know what I mean? Um, and we got the dub. You know, this was just a good old fashioned football game, man. You know what I'm saying? Just just to be, you know, direct with it. It was just a good old fashioned football game. I mean, hard nosed defense, you know what I'm saying? Field position battles, you know what I'm saying? Flipping the field, um, field goals, you know what I mean? Good defense, and all. For this game. A conference win, division win. You know what I'm saying? Double down on the win. You know, but and speaking of on that win, it doesn't matter how we win, as long as we win. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's why they say all three phases. That's why there's three phases to a team. You know what I mean? It's three phases to the team, and then you know what I'm saying. When you have two of those three phases, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. On top of their phase, 9 times 10 you're gonna win the game. Um, Special teams started off the game. So actually, the special teams, you know what I'm saying, they set the tone for the game. Actually, you know, truth be told, you know, getting on top of the muff, putting the points and getting the points on the board, you know what I'm saying, getting us ahead to start. Yeah, it took the D a little while to get it going. Taysom Hill was Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? But after a while, they settled down and made some adjustments, and changed, the game up, so to speak, what I'm saying, from a defense perspective, you know, but the defense, the run defense still has to improve. You know, it still has to improve. That's just it in a nutshell. They're gonna have to improve. We're giving up a lot um, in the run game. It was kind of nerve wracking, to be honest, because that the Saints running the ball made the game what it was for them, and putting us in a precarious situation. Um, so that's one of the things about the defense that pretty much the only thing that is going to have to get better, um, and improve. You know what I'm saying, going forward. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, the defense was on top of their thing. They was on top of their game. They made stops when they needed to. Shout out to T1000 and Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? They had big games. You know what I'm saying? Money Mike was out there laying the wood. You know what I'm saying? T1000's out there opportunistic, laying the wood, getting the pick six. He looks to be back to where he was before the injury. Not hearing anything about, what I'm saying, him, that last moment of him going off the field, being helped off the field. Not hearing anything about that just yet, but I'm quite sure we will get some information on that by Wednesday. But for the most part, they Money Mike and T1000 had big games, man. And you have to give him a shout out. Mike Hughes could be, what I'm saying, player of the month in these first four games. To be honest with you, You know, the way things have gone on. You know, he's been playing some hellified ball. You know what I'm saying, at that at that CB2. You know, and there's Pro Football Focus numbers to back it up. Um, he's got a lot of tackle for losses, negative yards, what I'm saying, in pass deflections and things of that nature. He's, yards per game given up. I think he's top three in the league right now with that particular stat. Um, so hey, y'all show Money Mike some love, you know what I'm saying, and keep a lookout for T1000, you know what I'm saying. Because right now, those guys are getting it, getting into the mix and making things happen. Um, you know, uh, just a point of emphasis. I'll just say this again: there is no shame. Understand me? No shame in defense and special teams winning the game. There is no shame. None. One of the oldest sayings of football: defense wins championship. There's no shame in defense and special teams winning the game. Young Wei Koo, shout out to setting a new record for longest field goal in the bins for 58 yards as the walk-off. You know what I'm saying? People out here mad and talking all this noise, and we need to start pennies and you know what I'm saying? We paid all this money for this crap. We can't even score a touchdown. I'm sorry, he scored. It's the only game this season he didn't throw a touchdown pass in. All right, you know what I mean? I mean, and then yeah, you again, we can't be, like I said before, it doesn't matter how we win, just as long as we win. Again, the way the defense is playing and the way the special teams is somewhat staying on point and flipping the fields, covering punts. It, it, we have the time, you know what I'm saying? We have, the moments, in getting in the offense, getting itself right. It wasn't like, he had a game like Bo Nix, and throw the ball 30 times for only 60 yards. No, no, it wasn't like that. We just didn't get in the end zone from a receiver, a passing perspective. We just didn't get in the end zone. You know, from an offensive perspective, I meant, running or passing. We made some first downs. We moved the ball. We got in field goal range a few times. And like I said, at the end of the day, when the clock struck zeros, we got more points than the opposing team, which means we won the game. Period. Point blank. What up, Dunk? What's going on, man? What's happening? Good, good, man. Keep that health up. D. Sloan, what's happening? Yeah, and you're right, Corey. That was a big should have been one of the main mentions, but Judon had he made an impact on yesterday's game as well. Big impact. He setting the edge, holding the edge, um, on that end around where he stretched the edge out where Buddy couldn't hit the corner like he wanted to. That was huge. That was huge. Yeah, what's up, D? I know we didn't score offensively, but our special teams and defense, what I'm saying, really stepped up and got us a win. A win is a win. Exactly. That's been my point. That's been my mantra this morning. There is no shame. I will put it up there again. Let me share it with you again. There is no shame in defense and special teams winning the game. There is absolutely no shame. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the football. It's part of the football game. Defense is part of the football game. Special teams, punt, kick, return. You know what I'm saying? Punt and kick coverage. Field goals. You know what I'm saying? Kickoffs. All of that is part of the game. And when those parts of the game help you win the game, what are you bitching about? What are you crying about? What are you moaning about? It's good old fashioned grit and grind, you know what I'm saying? Football. I mean, if you really want to have some type of perspective on it, you know what I'm saying, just to have something to stand on your soapbox, okay, go ahead. But like I've been saying, the offense is gonna take care of itself. It is working itself out. Yeah, there's gonna be hiccups. Y'all seem to forget, okay, with the offense, especially with Kirk coming off injury, okay, and not really. I mean, I know I've heard some people, talk about, what I'm saying, the team versus team scrimmages and practices during training camp and whatnot. Yeah, okay. But at the same time, when you're doing your due diligence, especially coming off an Achilles, I mean, it's mighty funny. The narrative for Aaron Rodgers is so much more graceful than the narrative for Kirk Cousins. I wonder why that is. Hmm, yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. You know, but tell you what it is though. All right, we 500 for the first quarter of the season, which was actually my call, my prediction. Um, 'Cause I knew it was gonna be, a hit. There was gonna be some hiccups. It was gonna be bumpy, and it was gonna be like trying to start a '57 Chevy with an old carburetor. It was gonna take a minute for the gas to get through that thing, especially done sat for so long. And honestly, we're right where I expected us to be. Be quite frankly, with the defense, saying mutating still, in its bits and pieces, forms and fashion into a beast. Um, right, looking right now is the only thing that needs to be cleaned up is our run D, because we have an attitude, we have we have a mindset from a defense perspective. They are looking to move the line of scrimmage. They are looking to knock the block off of anything underneath. We're not giving up any, not too many yards after the catch. You know, um, we're laying it in toe to toe with the stars. We're in the fight. You know what I'm saying? From the kickoff to the clock striking zeros, from the defensive mindset is concerned. Um, you know, and it's gonna and that the defense, the scheme itself is gonna allow, what I'm saying, some more, what I'm saying, star material to shine. Um, like I said, Money Mike Hughes and T1000, aka Trey Anderson, showed up on Sunday in good fashion. Shout out to D. Alford, great defensive play all game, especially in the big moments. Uh, the crash out crew is doing its job back there. Um, I will say we are missing Landerman in the linebacker room. Um, no knock on Ellis, but on goal line defense, he's just a little light to be right there in the middle. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for still trying to put it in and keeping it coastal, getting the calls in, getting the checks down, changing the coverage when need to be changed, and communicating, all that. You about 20 or 30 pounds, a little light there, brother. You know what I'm saying? No joke, no joke. Alvin Kamara is between the tackles. But we will. I'm quite sure that that will be addressed in the oncoming weeks. You know what I'm saying, in division play. Um, you know, but for the most part, it's coming along about the same, probably the same amount of progression that I thought it would be. You know, um, I if I remember, I think Lindeman's out for the. I want to say 8 weeks. I think that was the call on him. or if not this season, I can't totally recall the length that they say he was gonna be out, but I know it's a long time. I know it's a long time, and he's being missed. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the run defense problem. Landerman, the thumper, that spot is not in there, and I think that at this juncture, because with him probably going to be gone a long time, I think that we should put T1000 back in that spot. I know they wanted Ellis in that spot, you know what I'm saying, because from a mental capacity, he has the experience and could do, wear the communications helmet, um, which I think and I get it, but I saw Anderson do it, you know what I'm saying, up until he got hurt on last season, and he was doing a pretty good job. Hey, Christy, how you doing, darling? Um, and I think, in that particular situation, I think that Anderson should have been, you know what I'm saying, in that middle. Nothing against Ellis. He just a little light to be taking on a power running back, a very physical running back in Eric Kamara, in the middle like that, and he just carried him on into to the end zone. Um, you know, uh, but I think they're gonna fix that situationally, um, going forward. You know, from that perspective, but the overall perspective, progression of this team going forward is a real reality. We're not far off from where we're trying to be as far as this being, the engine getting all the way going. Um, we just we're getting used to each other, and I'm speaking from an offensive perspective with Zach and Dirty Kurt. They're getting used to each other as far as being on the same wavelength, and you can see it's getting better. You can see it's getting better. Um, and as far as Kurt, you know, he wants to, be able to get the ball to Kyle as well. But if you've not been paying attention, teams starting from week one, teams are playing him with, what I'm saying, one on his hip and one over the top, and then sometimes one on the other hip as well. He is drawing a lot of attention, ladies and gentlemen, and that is why you're seeing, Ray and Mooney and Drake, you know, getting a lot of burn, you know what I'm saying, and Tyler getting a lot of burn because Kyle is drawing a lot of attention. Now they got to, Zach got to get in the lab and and figure out some wrinkles, and whatnot. But also to that end, doesn't matter if you're a top five pick, okay? It doesn't matter. You know, his presence on the field is causing problems. Y'all so worried about now. Y'all worried about numbers. Now y'all concerned about stats, which is ironic in itself. You know what I'm saying? I remember when one, top five top five pick player that we had, and it was the whole term when he was discussed that stats didn't matter. Well, now stats matter. Mm. Because it's funny, y'all, you know, the Kyle Pitts, his brother. Now the stats matter. Why he ain't getting it? Why we ain't getting the ball? Look, you got to understand and not underestimate what you see from the opposing defense. We've been down this road before. Remember that season when Matt was forcing the ball to Julio, and how did that turn out in 2015? Oh yeah, okay, that part. All right. Yeah. But see, they don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to understand that. You don't want to comprehend that. You know what I'm saying? But then the moment, you know, Kirk turns the ball over, now y'all want to talk contract and wasted money and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? When he's out there being a quarterback and using common sense, okay, Kyle is double covered, Kyle is triple covered. Or they're shading him, they're trying to bait me. And yet you're throwing the ball to the guys that are open. Throwing it to the guys to the route that are running the routes that are open, that are accessible. But then, if he was throwing the ball to Kyle anyway in the double and triple cover, then y'all be, why he keep throwing it in the double and triple cover? Kirk can't win, you know what I'm saying, for losing. It's damn if you do and damn if you don't. And in this particular case, it's damn if you don't, because it really don't make sense. Like I said, we've been down this road before. We've seen this exact same movie before. So why not make the actual common sense move and get the ball to the guys that are not double covered, that are not triple covered, that are not being shaded over the top. You know what I'm saying? To the open routes that are being ran, that the defense is giving you. But that's not the conversation that y'all want to have. That's not the understanding that you don't want to look at the game within the game that's within the game and understand what's going on in how your coordinator and your head coach got to stay 2 and 3 steps ahead and not give them the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, of turning the ball over or putting ourselves in an obvious situation of throwing in a double and triple coverage, you know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but hey, you know, it's funny how certain narratives, fit certain stories, or certain excuses only fit certain narratives. You know, we've been whining and crying for the better part of the last 7 years. Me myself, since 1977, 76, about a defense. You know, and now that we have one, now y'all don't appreciate it. Y'all want to act like it ain't here. Y'all still want to act like the only thing that matters on the football team is the quarterback and what the quarterback does and don't do, especially if y'all don't like the quarterback. Which for the last let me see, which for 15 out of the last 17 seasons, y'all had nothing but disdain for the quarterback position. We all know why that is. For the most part, but we done been to that Oprah show and read that and understood, what I'm saying, what time it is. And yes, Mr. Knight, it was a big win. It was a team win. You know what I'm saying? It was a grit and grind win. It was good old fashioned football win. You know, um, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, and yeah, it's first time in 20 years the offense didn't put up, what I'm saying, a score. Hey, it is what it is. But when you have two phases of your team to win for, there is no shame. Again, there is no shame in defense and special teams winning the game. There is no shame. What that proves is you have a complete team. But see, not no one looking at it from that perspective. When your special teams in all of its parts change field position, you know what I'm saying, give your defense a short field to work with, you know, makes the field goals that they're assessed to come out there and make, and then your defense gets to score as well, you know. I mean, how is there any shame in that? How is there any shame in their defense and special teams earning their money? putting up points, playing good D, getting off the field, making timely stops, kick and punt to return coverage is on point. Field goals made. Your punt coverage team gets a score as well. How is there any shame in any of that? I ask you. How is there any shame in any of that? Punt coverage team gets a touchdown. Defense gets a touchdown. Young Way Cool puts what 9 with the 3 field goals, 2 or 3 field goals up on the board. Where in the blue hell is the shame in that? You know what I'm saying? You see, yeah, a lot of folks are so caught up in the window dressing and wanting to look good. You needing a play to be a certain type of way for you to be excited or to be excited about the win. What in the entire fuck is that? What is that? How is that? When 2 phases of your team dominate the game and it's instrumental in you winning, and there's some shame in that. There's some shame in that. There's a problem with that. Okay. All right. Okay. Mm, yeah. All right. It's Christy. We beat them. When you live this close to an opponent and other fans don't know what it's like, I will be glowing red like a Christmas tree this weekend. Yes, love. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. He said, and she also says, I have no complaints and don't understand why any Falcons fan doesn't realize that the Aints wish they would have. They feel like suckers because they lost in this manner. Pretty dirty. What's good, man? What's happening? Nice to have you in there. Football is a team sport. Yes, it is to its highest degree. Our offense ran interference for the defense and special teams. I take that plan if it ends in a dub. I'm just saying, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, quite frankly, at this particular point, all those that are walking around here and ranting and hooting at and what I'm saying, with your dry crusty thong tied in a knot, then just sit down and take a gander at these 4 letters and understand the meaning because we won. We won. Period, point blank. We won. We won this game. Physical, hard nosed. We were hard hitting. We were hard running, hard kicking, hard covering, hard nose to stand there with the clock on triple zeros with more points than the New Orleans Saints for the win in the Benz. To be 500 for the first quarter of the season, and y'all standing here wanting to be mad or upset. We're not 0-4. We're not 1-3. We're 500 for the first quarter of the season, standing toe to toe with the defending champs. Should we have won? Yeah, yeah. Could we have won? Yeah. Same for week 1. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah. And to come out after playing the defense that we played in the first 4 games and be 500 with a not yet, chemically balanced, chemistry balanced offensive unit and be 500? Okay. All right. You ain't got to pay attention. You ain't got to understand it. You ain't got to feel it. But when it get down to it, and the stars are aligned, and the majority of y'all just doing all this crying, bitch in the morning and complaining, and you get down to 8, 9, or 10, and y'all same ones right here. Well, when did this happen? How did this happen? You didn't see it happen because you too busy, crying about window dressing. It just just say I'm so glad that we have had backup plans. We just spent 2 years without seeing this. Yes, a well put together coaching staff, a front office with the cojones to make the necessary moves, and the plan of development and securing a well put together team in all three phases. Yes, we saw 2 years, 3 years without that. Okay, 3 years without that, and understanding a Super Bowl winning head coach with that they got chips as a coordinator that knows having a well put together defense leads you into playing football in late January. 330 said, I actually thought we would have been 1-3 or 0-4. So 500 ball has exceeded my expectation. Well, there you have it. Well, there you have it. There you have it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're at this position. We're at this position, and seeing the brother bright side of what the defense and the special teams that have come along, is the glue that is holding this thing together, which I have absolutely no problem with because again, defense does what? Win championships. Oldest saying in this here NFL's history. Defense wins the championships. Okay, you know we're going into the second quarter of the season with these Bucks. You know what I'm saying on next week. Um, with with young what his name is them boy he down there playing good football at quarterback. For them y'all know what I'm talking about. He's playing some good ball. He actually is. You cannot deny that. Vita Veda is back off his injury. You can't ignore that as well. Tampa's just playing some good ball, you know, and it's going to be another knockdown, drag out, physical altercation. You know what I'm saying? Known as defense, saying NFC South football on next week. Um, they know we coming. They know it. And they got to come in here and they got to face it. They got to face the physicality. You know, uh, they have to, face what we're growing into, progressing into. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else that is watching. You know, conversations are a little different this morning across the national board. You know, but that's to be expected. Listen, the ingredients are here, ladies and gentlemen. Playoff championship contending defense is mutating into a beast to that point. Um, the seriousness that the guys on special teams, the 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 sense of urgency, on special teams. Yeah, hey, look, our offense is gonna take care of itself. We're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be just fine, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be just fine. You know, progression is a real reality. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. And also, and I really try to stay away from it, but you know, the NFL got to do better with the officiating. They just do. You know, that false start, fraudulent flag. You know what I'm saying? And Newsom didn't even move the ball. He didn't move the ball. They're finding new ways to try to jack us. You know, but hey, understand that the defense is growing. You know what I'm saying? And some a couple of the vets on the defense are, leading this team and keeping our heads up. You know what I'm saying? And being strong, against adversity and the hardening, and whether it's injury or whether it's bad play or mismaking a good play. You know what I'm saying? The leadership on this team is rearing. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful head. You know, um, and I'm enjoying watching the growth in the maturation of this team, most notably this defense. You know, the reality of weeks 1 through 3 for the Atlanta Falcons is this: we're 500 for the first quarter, which means there's a lot of upside. You know what I'm saying, that we're looking at in the second quarter. And we're off to, we're on a good point. We're on a good point of standing in this progression, you know, and growing as a team. So once again, shout out to the defense. You know what I'm saying? There's video document evidence of this team growing. It may not be growing as fast as a lot of you would like, but that's because that Madden, what I'm saying, microwave mind fantasy football mindset. It's an epidemic, and it is what it is. You will be all right. You will be all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's we have a lot to look forward to. You know, there's an upkick, there's an uprising. The progression is upward. It's trending upward. It's trending to a good spot as this team takes its complete transformation into a good to great team. And I think we're gonna be just fine. You know. So, hey, look, this your boy, you know what I'm saying? Mad Monday, not so mad. Hey, it's always a good Monday, you know what I'm saying, when the Dirty Birds get the dub. Hey, look, I appreciate, what I'm saying, you guys for tuning in like always. And yes, um, Raheem plan has been set out, run the South. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. We're on that trajectory. We're on that trajectory, man. We're on that trajectory. You know what I'm saying? We're trending that way. Uh, Look, this is your boy, Mr. White, Mr. White Sporting Network. Y'all subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Tell a friend, share it to a friend, to a homie, to a partner, to a barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to your boy. You know what I mean? Wicked Wednesday Sports T on Wednesday coming up at 4:30. You know what I'm saying? Tune in. Coaching the quarterback segment. Sports T Dummy of the Week. We're gonna, even talk more in depth about the offense, and its growth and what is happening with them in its transformation into, a good cohesive unit. We're gonna even have some WNBA talk in there, and some NBA talk and some baseball talk in there for you on the T. Wicked Wednesday Sports T. Look at him, man. You got to keep it A. You got to keep it dirty, and you got to keep it real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make your next move your best move. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Christie, I got a question about this week's game against the Bucks. What would that question be, young lady? What would that question be? Come on, Christy. What's the question, love? I'm waiting for you. Was our defense playing prevent or soft defense? Hmm. Now, you talking about the game on yesterday, or you talking about was that going to be the kind of defense that we play against the Bucks? I'm just trying to understand so I can answer you correctly. I watched the Bucks game against Philly. Oh, you're asking was we playing prevent or soft defense against Philly? Well, the only thing that was wrong with the defense on yesterday, and I can't even really call it wrong because it was Alvin Kamara, but our run defense could have and should have been a little bit better than it was. And I think if we'd have held Kamara to half of what he had, we probably would have won that going away, maybe by 10. Um, but other than that, I don't think the defense overall was bad. I mean, we gave up 135, 138 yards on the ground total. Um, you know, and against the Bucks. Now, White has been a little nicked up, but he's been in there. Um, I think the just like because I did speak on saying what is the problem with our run defense is because Landerman, who's about 60 pounds heavier than Ellis, is missing. I think if Landerman is not hurt, I don't think Kamara gets that touchdown at the goal line. I don't think that touchdown happens. Um, and I think that's the obvious, that's the elephant in the room, missing Landerman in run defense, and it shows. But I think that, you know, yeah, I mean, Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara. But like I'm saying, partly of that issue, with our what you want to call the thumper at the middle linebacker is out hurt. And this is nothing against Caden Ellis, just a little light. He plays excellent, all around linebacker skills. That's why he's a Swiss Army knife back there. He can play the positions, but situationally speaking, we probably should have had someone heavier in there on that goal line set, which is part of the problem, so to speak, with our run defense. But I know that's going to get addressed, coming the week as far situationally speaking, because Caden Ellis is doing a great job, with the communication aspects of running the defense, you know. So it's just some adjustments that needs to be made, but you know, to a larger, big picture wise, the defense is playing pretty well. We could get better on third downs as well, even though we were pretty good. But it needs to get consistently better. If we got 12 third downs in a game, we need to get off the field on at least 9 of them. You know what I'm saying? That's just what that is. And you're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. And thank you to everyone that tuned in and that will tune in, going forward. Like I said, I love you guys, tuning in, debating and interacting and having dialogue, see these comments. in these topics, and I'm trying to do my best to come up, with, you know, knowledgeable things to, hand to you all. Maybe you can understand something, a lot better than already have. But hey, it's on to the Bucks. On to the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Well, Chrissy, it's old boy. They down. The Bucks offense is playing pretty well right now. You know, and we just have to go in and put a stop to it, just like we did with the Saints. The Saints are playing pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, coming in. We just have to stick to our guns, stick to like Ross said, stick to our identity, get our and play our identity, run the ball and stop the run. Period, point blank. That's just what it is in a nutshell. You know, um, it is that's just it. You can't put it no more plainer than that. Well, you know, look, loved it. Make your next choice your best choice. You know what I'm saying? Dirty birds we trust, dirty birds we must. We in here, y'all. The journey has begun. It's your boy, OG Big Sam, aka Mr. White. Tune in, hang in, be in. We can win sports T on Wednesday at 4:30. Love y'all, man. Mr. White out.